locked and loaded. Just get the signal.
Trouble ahead.
Plasma tolerance exceeded.
Got my time.
Error. Navigation systems offline. Unable to locate designated path. Greetings. This unit is unable to fulfill its programming. Are you able to assist this unit in its assigned duties? Dispensing gratitude in 3, 2, 1. Error. Gratitude depleted. This unit is unable to execute its programming due to tampering. Navigational and other systems have been compromised. This unit is now being used as a target, which is not among its designated functions. This unit must return to Matriarch's mercy to dispense medical care in order to fulfill its programming. Searching for last known location of charging pad. Success! 1 entry found. Processing optimal path toward Matriarch's mercy. Return sequence will be initiated once path is determined. This unit cannot deviate from its predetermined destination. Thank you, qualified engineer. Nice weather we have been having, or not having. Goodbye. Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
in. I'll take care of him, Commander. Give it! Don't make me ask it!
Were the written orders really not enough? Void damn scrappers. Listen up, you, hard-working scrappers! Auntie's Choice needs you to bring scrap. Bring whole armloads to drop location 14C. 14C! You bring scrap, we give Adrena time. Very simple. Special. Bring us an order targeting system. Get lots of Adrena time. And remember, if any scrapper attacks us again, no Adrena time for anyone. 14C, scrap. Adrena time, no fighting, no violence. That's all. Hopefully even your rotting gray matter can comprehend this.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. How dare you! An arbiter does not visit wanton destruction upon civilians, and had I judged these refugees, I would have told the bartender plainly. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. We operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will, thus we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. Shame about all this blood. I just polished these boots. Is that? Yes, that's an incisor, all right. These people could have been saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. What sort of life was this, without the Sovereign's guidance? cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. Inform me. Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Thorough destruction scarcely narrows the list of possible suspects, unfortunately. Did you have anything else? Perhaps it might allow us to ascertain the final moments of the camp's machines. See if any final commands were sent before the camp's destruction. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. Someone visited much carnage on this place while leaving few signs of their presence. Did you learn anything by examining the body? I ascertained the burn wounds, but I theorized plasma damage, not electrical. Seems I must brush up on my ballistic know-how. That automechanicals would fall in the camp's defense is logical. That there would only be one is not. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Meaning its combat protocols were active for quite some time before it was destroyed. Must be the shortwave, as we already found the long band. Odd that our assailant would pay it any mind. Maybe holds the gravitational weight of your supposition and does so without basis. Pointless postulation wastes time and effort. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? No. Sub Rosa could have cleaned this entire business up without anyone knowing were that the case. Focus on observations. Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an automech. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Yes, that relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. Theorized. I knew this was an ex-Protectorate encampment, but wasn't sure it was a sentinel's doing until this moment. They operate in clandestine ways. Now with that finished, we... Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry. Seems the machines returned, bent on eliminating any stragglers.
Looks like a fight.
That was a hearty engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
How are the informant lines treating you? Hear anything good? Not terribly.
My only field-bound compatriot is station.
Blades, bludgeons, bombs, plunder. Think I misplaced a browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfect. Feel free to go on.
Unless you plan on...
Hey, browse all you like. Blades, bludgeons, bombs. Might browse all you like. If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it.
If you lost it, I'm selling it. Doctor here. Get your stitches.
Bye from me? Hello once more. Anybody even listening to this? Let me tell you stuff.
grandstanding gone foul.
My gear has the fewest holes out of any clothes-on station, or your money back.
Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection, though you shall not prevail. Sporting! Let us do battle! That's an impressive number of cards, my friend, but not... Wait a moment. No, your cards. You have multiple that I do not. Your collection has defeated me. Though this defeat leaves the taste of dirt and blood in my mouth, I am not dishonorable. I present to you my other collected wares. I have no doubt they shall impress. I understand your impatience, but wait just a moment longer. Greetings again. You may have defeated me last time, but I shall rise from the ashes someday. In the meantime, you're welcome to browse my collection. Behold!
Salutations once more.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Anyone had asked me, I had to put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. and I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body, though when it comes to Protectorate arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct-like from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Stick with Sub Rosa.
Real jealous.
We're the fun, shady
so are the
organization.
half-dozen AC ad execs.
If it isn't our partner in crime. In a very
Done us a
literal
kindness,
sense.
friend.
If I ever see you around here again, I'll say thanks.
You scratch our back and we'll never shoot you in yours. Promise.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. but I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Fine. But if this uptight tin can swings that hammer anywhere near me, there's gonna be trouble.
Very well. I shall locate whichever craft seems the most out of place, for something tells me this shall lead me to yours. See you again shortly.
So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent. Dead mentor, apparent cover-up, sure, I'd be mad too. But why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he got any other Protectorate hullheads to come to his aid? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Yeah, but do the rest of us deserve to be put at risk? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to keep the peace, then fine, but I still gotta maintain due diligence. You should too. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Fizzo's Purple Berry Tequila. Ride the Purple Worm. Anti-Fizzo's Spectrum Vodka. You asked. Vodka, and we heard you.
Commander. Caught me cogitating. I was just thinking about making some tweaks to Val. Hoping it'll help. You know your automechs. All of the above, more or less. Val's old in automech years, so she requires a lot of routine maintenance to prevent her hardware and systems from deteriorating further. Yep, gotta fill the hours with something, right? Most times I find working on Val relaxing, actually. Meditative. It's nice being able to identify a problem and just fix it. Val saved my life after Horizon Point, and she's been saving my life every day since. Partly, I'm just glad to return the favor, even if I am just putting off the inevitable. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time yammering. But thanks for stopping by.
Arbiter Rao has been admitted to the ship. This unit will proceed with a Protectorate Welcome Protocol, which may include burning, prodding, and/or light electrical shocks. Agent Ibarra refers to this as somatic tolerance testing and really funny.
This ship is certainly quaint. The grease stains and thrice retrofitted pipes give one the thrilling impression that the ship might burst into flames at any moment. I suppose there's something charming about its lived-in nature. Nevertheless, I have availed myself of the ship's cleaning supplies. Unsightliness is an enemy as sure as any other. Certainly, I consider myself an open tome. Quite well. I am able to uphold justice wherever it may flag. Bolstered, of course, by your steady support. Was there more in this vein you wish to discuss? She taught me all that I know. Her teaching style was stern, but enlightening. If ever I erred, she would teach me to avoid making such a mistake in the future. Though she did not raise me from infancy, I was brought into her tutelage quite early. I spent a great deal of my life looking up to her. Her death weighs leaden on my shoulders. We must find her killer and bring them to justice, lest justice in Arcadia truly fall to ruin. Why, he is of the matriarch's direct lineage. Only he possesses the understanding to lead us all. Someone not matriarch ordained would bring the Protectorate to ruin. May his leadership of Arcadia last for many years. I hope someday to be party to his glorious presence. If I had one wish, it would be that he leaned less upon the Consul's guidance. The Sovereign alone knows what is best for Arcadia. Meddlers should not be abided. In every respect, save being humans, and perhaps even that is arguable in the Sentinel's case. Where arbiters uphold justice and loyalty within the Protectorate, the Sentinels operate on its fringes. They are clandestine operatives, little more than alleyway backstabbers. I find them wholly unnecessary. As you might expect, they are the Consul's pet project. Straightforward. I was trained from a young age under the tutelage of Supreme Arbiter Marthana Andros, alongside my co-protege. Only those rated most highly on the Protectorate Acumen test could be placed even among the ranks of arbiters. And to be mentored by the Supreme Arbiter herself was a great honor. Moreover, she taught her proteges to seek out evidence before judging as they saw fit, despite the fact that an arbiter needs nothing of the sort to declare something a crime. An arbiter would never abuse their power. Every action we take is on behalf of the Sovereign and upholding the Protectorate. In any other society, I could see such a scenario resulting in anarchy, but the Protectorate is matriarch ordained. Our devotion is ironclad. Why would they need to? The Protectorate provides everything any individual could want. Anything beyond the norm is unnecessary at best and actively traitorous at worst. As the Protectorate's most elite, we proteges needed to be able to think flexibly and adapt to situations that faced us should they require adaptation. At least, I believe that's why. Would that I could still ask her. Alas. Sneer all you like, but our society has operated in this manner for more than 100 years. Normally, arbiters do not need to prosecute, for all operate as they should. Ask, and I shall answer. Who amongst our motley assortment would you care to discuss? I find Agent Ibarra most curious. His system of values differs from my own, but not so much as I would expect. I look forward to understanding him better. He faces an interesting dilemma as an isolated member of the Earth Directorate. As do you, of course. I hope you both remain steadfast to your values. She is an endearing piece of engineering. Her continued functionality, despite her advanced age, speaks to a skilled caretaker, though she retains certain quirks. Earlier, she bumped into my head, bleating, "Please do your part to keep the incognito clean. Remove any and all foreign mineral deposits." She is an enemy combatant, and were I not in your command, I would be honor-bound to bring her low. Yet, she is also oddly intriguing. She does not possess the scavenger's appetite of her colleagues. Perhaps if I came to know her better, I might, find techniques to use against her fellows. Her decision to break from the corporatists is impressive indeed. I merely hope it does not muddy the waters of her resolve. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter anyhow. That was an impressive performance of yours during your strength training this morning. Your physical prowess smears my own, though it does not eclipse it.
Oh, that's the end of your comment? Then thanks. I thought the flattery was going to lead into an insult of my training techniques, or my proclivity for vanity.
Of course not.
I simply was surprised that a non-protectorate individual could perform satisfactorily.
Well, for my part, I didn't expect much from you neither. But you've got great form. Strong quadriceps. Not that I'm looking that closely. Anyway.
Unleash my might upon them!
Think the cult's signaling that we ain't welcome here. But I ain't too keen on heeding signs.
If I ever manage to make it out of this barrel!
I believe I hear a cultist lying in ambush. Truly low, planning such in a place of rest such as this.
Oh no, it's... No. There was uranium on my hands when I came in here, and now it's... Why didn't I wash them first? face for the preposterously laden vice. How about you leave me to endure my pulpy penury in peace? What? No, that's not... Someone help me!
To the edge!
I do believe a cultist is attempting to kill us. Lethal measures at the ready.
Cowards! You've never bested me without subterfuge! Unhand me, and I'll show you how a true acolyte fights!
architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left one or two of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with xeranium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. There is one other thing. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. Your violent tendencies could be of great help to me there, as I'm sure mine could be of service to you. If you deign to take me on, of course. I'm not going to wax poetical with you about my life while there's traitors in serious need of killing. All you need know is that I'm good with a knife. What do you say? Nothing that will live to regret. But it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
If you think remaining alone with this cultist is wise, I shall return to my quarters. Perhaps I'll use this time to catch up on my reading.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors. I can't believe I'm surrounded by idiots. Not you, I mean the other idiots. They betrayed me, they betrayed the Dawn. They need to die. What more is there to know? Who can say what drives those who have clearly lost their minds?
I ain't got anything nice to say here. You take this one.
It will be for the swine who betrayed me. Oh, you mean the range itself? It's a site for developing and testing N-ray technology. N-rays can be deadly once processed, and they should be fairly contained, though I wouldn't put it past those fools to have meddled with things beyond their comprehension. I just hope they haven't all gotten themselves killed before I've had a go at them. Such as? Nothing of much worth to tell there. I'd rather hear your story. It sounds like you've let others dictate your existence with their culturally imposed limitations and narrow interpretation of righteousness and truth. Joining the Glorious Dawn freed me of such nonsense. They gave me a completely new life, wiped away all traces of fear and repression, and replaced them with unbridled freedom. My world used to be devoid of color. Everything was gray. Now everything is vibrant, like the arterial spray of a freshly opened vein. And I'm still not interested in discussing it.
Nothing about this that feels right. I keep my hand on my weapon were I you. Raring to go.
I've nothing but disgust for your corporate overlords. At least the invasion stirred up some much-needed chaos in Arcadia.
Have I mentioned that I got no interest in your opinions of my overlords?
We can always talk about you then. Like how you were the victim of corporate greed and hubris.
Reckon I wasn't clear. I got no interest in your opinions about anything.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally. I'll just tweak it. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
Unfriendly company.
Well, these cultists ain't dumb. First thing you do after seizing an objective is bar the front door. But there's always another way inside.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
Little grub fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends.
.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or, oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you. Fine. Just please keep her away from me. Architect's mercy, thank you. It is so much easier to be polite when I needn't fear all of my bones sliding out of my body. Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse. He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his stress is infectious. Best not to push him. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. You can attempt such, but if my current state is any indication, the cultists are unlikely to be sporting with you. There's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We've an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate. If I'm still alive in a week, I'll put in a suggestion to the presiding bishop that N-ray scanners be standard issue. The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
Perk up, Commander. Don't make me avenge you.
Hey, that must be the scanner there.
Enemy spotted.
I appreciate your help. Dying makes it so difficult to see the results of your theses. You can use it to see the wires connecting this door to the nearest override panel. Try not to electrocute yourself. I appreciate your aid. I'm going to wait here and try to prevent my wounds from reopening.
do it. Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
You leave at once.
That's a Glorious Dawn communication device. Our cells use them to send and receive encrypted messages.
You there, you must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander?
You're here to stop me. But if I'm stopped, the consequences will be exponential. Oh, I don't expect people like you or Augustine to understand. My work is humane and must be finished. All else is secondary. You must remove yourself from the range. I don't want your blood on my hands, but I will spill it if you force me. No, don't you understand? If my work is forestalled in any way, so many more will suffer. And I am already much too far behind. I have been forced to enact measures for self-defense in the wake of these cultists. They will serve just as effectively against you. I beg you, leave immediately. Remain, and you will assuredly suffer a violent demise.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
ignorance! Look at the sad little scrap in his corrugated.
You, friend of friends, are a greater ally than any number of fellow scienticians. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cult... it seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans. Fine. Just trying to add some levity into this pathetic creature's drab existence.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife. Yet he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Survived is something of an overstatement. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. I would be more sympathetic to their collective plight, had they not promised to insert every item in this room down my throat in reverse alphabetical order. Although it requires further investigation and experimentation, out of phase refers to a shift in the dimensional presence of these cultists. They are physically here, but only partially, hence their unseen state. It's fascinating. But the outstanding fear for my life has made it difficult to think scientifically. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
fool enough to approach my holdout, I once again ask you to stop. Path ahead is filled with unseen traps, whether cultist or warrior. You will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If De Vries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. Thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. The time for talk ends forever!
Boy, damn it! We've killed every traitor in this place, but their treasonous scum of a hierarch wasn't among them. The leader of a cell. In this case, that would be Ziegler. And extinguishing him is obviously our next priority. They were operating under his orders. But since he wasn't here to lead them in person, they would have maintained regular contact using one of our communication devices. We should return to the one we saw earlier. It will hopefully yield some worthwhile information. This is it, the Dawn's communication device. Let's see what I can find on it. Not much, but there are a few encrypted messages from Ziegler reporting on a rift in Paradise Island he was sent to study. Idiot didn't even have enough respect to stay to kill me himself. Well, it's of no consequence. Now that I know where he is, let's go show him the error of his ways. Don't think too long. I've got a problem I'm itching to solve, and I may have a tendency to get violently impatient.
Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. And DeVries had him building a bomb. She obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. But he didn't leave us room to show him any grace neither. You ever wonder What might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? Hotshot Earth Directorate agent swoops in to liberate your colony, sets you on a new exciting path, and you're telling me you wouldn't have been a bit smitten? Good law. I was a kid with a crush, like you said. It wasn't serious. If anything, I wanted to be DeVries. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. I will say, it's a lot easier to do just that nowadays. With you around, that is. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Anti-Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out.
Insoluble and inconsolable.
We going to kill Hierarch Ziegler soon? My knife hand's getting itchy. Who can say? There was no indication that I've seen. I've interacted with him on occasion. Seemed a decent, loyal sort. As interested as I am to hear whatever sorry explanation he has, not sure I'll be able to control my rage when I see him to ask why before I remove his spleen. Maybe I'll start with his gallbladder? No, I think it's gotta be the spleen.
Inez's grafts are unthinkable. Simply to get ahead, Auntie's Choice expected her to permanently manifest a raptidon limb? A crabble claw? Sovereign's mercy. It appears she lives a life of constant self-maintenance, lest her grafts break down. Not to mention the discomfiture and pain of bearing a foreign edition. Not that it bothers me. She is an enemy of the Protectorate, after all. We would never afflict one of our own with such a fate.
You take care of us, we'll
Just
take
heard
care
back.
of you.
The higher-ups finally decided to just bury the corpses. Move on.
there's anything worse than my former fellow Protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies. Such as?
Bludgeons, bombs. Hey, rouse all you like. Feel free to... If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it!
On the inside, Commander. To deny killing these traitors was invigorating, but their leader still needs to be dealt with. That I'm really going to enjoy.
Why are you still alive? There's been some ghastly mistake. We must speak on the latest revelation before you compound it by killing me. You're obviously unaware that you've been officially marked for death. Otherwise, you'd have killed yourself and saved us all the trouble. It's unfortunate I was unable to inform you of this before you killed so many loyal members of the Dawn. But so be it. Glad we were able to clarify all of that. Well?
I'm thinking I'd normally just kill this idiot where he stands, but I must know what in the architect's name he's going on about. Ziegler, what's got into your brain pan? You used to be a dedicated member of the Dawn. How could you think there was a legitimate kill order on me?
You were revealed as a betrayer through the sanctified channel. How can you disobey a revelation from on high when you yourself exhorted us constantly to never do such?
You make a compelling point. But then again, so does my knife. Let me introduce you to it.
We've got company, Commander.
I can't believe what Hierarch Ziegler was saying. How could there be an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique. Unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. Damn straight they should have. I have no idea. If I go anywhere near one of our encampments, I'll be forced to kill members who believe they're following orders. Of course, any member of the Dawn who turns on me without thinking is asking for death, but this could still make solving this even more difficult. Don't worry. I'll stay on as part of your crew until I get this all figured. It's given me an impressive amount of opportunities for killing, and all the killing helps me think. I must admit to being highly vexed by this kill order situation. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing.
and my next victim will be the hostile with the
Pissed off.
My aftermarket parts are high. Wrist weapon prime!
Commander, you're bleeding.
You came at us from the scrapper side? You must be more than a mite brave. Or foolish. They're dangerous. I don't envy their handlers.
Why am I standing so close to this uranium? Hazard pay, of course. And I ain't even started bleeding from the ears yet.
Say there, friend. You came from the Extractorium. You ain't one of those cultist types.
Ugh.